Robert and Kelly serviced these cameras at a Bigfoot sighting hotspot known to locals as Devil's Gate, documenting dozens of tracks, hearing movement, and vocalizations as they serviced the cameras. Rob and Kelly felt they were being watched. As they walk away from this game camera, you can hear the creature vocalize. Even though they could hear it vocalize while they were searching around with their handheld cameras, they failed to capture the audibles. Surprisingly, 9 months later, when Kelly serviced the cameras again, you could hear the creature vocalize behind the camera as they walk away. Here are some of the highlights of what they found during servicing of the cameras and the animals on the cameras. I'm going to start with the vocalization as Robert and Kelly walk away from the camera.
There's a lot of marks up that way. I don't know if it was the big animal that's been leaving me. There's something up there that marvels. Anything that comes into this thicket will set it off, even right here. That camera's got a 65-foot range. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, I played those vocalizations twice. You could hear Robert and Kelly conversing as they walked away. Sounded like it come from behind the camera. Here are the highlights.
I just heard something. It's like it's been stepped on. Those massive prints in the snow. It's just a little portion of it. It's older.
Yeah, it did step in the snow right there. Something.
I don't know if it came from this way.
Look at this, folks. I think it's the one. Look. Here's the toe section. It goes right back to the heel. This is probably within the last day. Let me point it out to you guys at home. Okay, you got the toe section that comes across here, and then the heel section that comes across here. The heel is 6 inches. The toes are about, the toe section's about 8. And then the length is over 15 inches in length.
This tree right here has been knocked over. Something's come through here, you can see by the tracks. I don't know what it is, but there is something moving around up here too. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But it's been there the whole time you've been talking, and it's just kind of just, I think it's just waiting right around there, just watching it.
That's what they do. I watched for some tree peekers. You see another track up there? Yeah.
That one's older, but I'm pretty sure that's a track too. Whatever it is, it's big. Boom.
Oh, yeah. Will you measure that for me?
Yeah. Okay, it looks like it ends about here. So that's about that same 13. And across, it's about that same 8 inches across.
At the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's good size.
Mm-hmm.
It's heading this direction.
It stepped from right there all the way down to that one down there. So there's nothing in between.
That's probably longer than the 6 feet that I can measure. I think that only goes out to 6 feet.
I'm getting close. Yeah, it's bigger.
That's bigger than a 6 foot stride.
And it's 8 foot and it ends right there.
Oh, that's at 8 foot and it ends there. It probably leaped. It probably just wanted to leap over this
over
log.
the obstacle.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like it stepped there, and then leaps. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a preparation and then the leap. And that's why that one's so deep and why that one's super deep, is it came down and landed with all that force. Massive feet.
And what was the indication it was tall? Because it stepped over such a large...
Yeah, that thicket back there came up to my stomach right here.
Well, and then that leap of over 8 feet right there that you just measured.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. All right, let me point this track out to you guys. And look, you can see where the toes slid a little bit.
It's twice as long as my foot.
Uh-huh. And there's the hill. And it stepped right in front of this branch heading that direction. Yeah, we're back here with something that's huge. Up at the toes, it is 7 inches, almost 8 inches wide, over 7. At the hill, and it looks like it stepped on that branch back there a little bit on the hill. It is over 6 where it tapers at the hill. This thing's huge. Oh, it stepped there too. It just stepped with the front section of its foot there too. That is just massive. That is massive. Okay, I am getting over 17 inches in length on that thing. Actually, let's get to where it tapers perfectly. It's exactly 17. Doesn't mean the foot's that big, it's just the damage that it's done to the ground.
This alone right here is crazy too, because that's 14.
That's only part of it too. That might be the front of the mid-tarsal. Yeah, sometimes they use the mid-tarsal like another knee.
There's another step right there. Like you can see the steps.
Well, hopefully we catch it on camera. We're just putting new batteries in cameras up here.
Yeah, it's super weird. I don't know what was tracking me up there, but something was tracking me up there.
Something was paralleling Rob. He was, while I was servicing cameras, he was up on the mountain tracking this thing.
Yeah, I don't normally get uneasy, but that was I was getting a weird vibe.
I got a weird vibe when I heard the whoop and the snapping behind us.
Yeah, that sound, that vocalization I heard was very loud and very, like within a half a mile. And it sounded like it was coming from behind us, like from the area we had already traveled. The place, there's these giant indents, and they go all the way up. Like that's what I was following when I was up there, when I started getting paralleled, and I was like, nope, I'm getting paralleled by something, and whatever it is, it's interested in me, so I am. Because I'd walk, and it'd walk, and then I'd stop, and it'd go for a second, and then realize I stopped and stopped. And then that last time, before I headed back down, I stopped, because I'd been really quiet, and I was trying to be quieter, because I noticed it. I was being really quiet, and I stopped, and it didn't realize it right away, and kept moving. And I just heard branch, 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 and then all of a sudden it stopped, because it realized. It was like almost a full minute of walking past me, and it just stopped. And then all of a sudden I just was like, had this feeling something was watching me again. So I was like, it was a weird vibe, and so it was like time to turn around.
Well, they supposedly feel safer on the ridges. A lot of people and natives call them ridge walkers. They prefer to be up on the ridges, but obviously they have to come down into the valley for resources. But for safety, they like to be up on the ridges. And in reality, it's safer from people. People usually don't walk the ridge lines. People usually stay down into the valleys. That's where all the trails and rivers are.
But I mean, whatever left these marks is huge, and they keep going. There's definite paths that it has traveled.
Well, we got a measurement off of one of them down in the valley, down over by the golf course. A farmer saw it standing out by his tractor out there, and it towered over his tractor. And his tractor, the cab of his tractor was 8 feet tall, so this thing had to have been around 9. Yeah, it stepped in the snow right there.
Something definitely stepped there at some point.
That's huge.
It's huge. I mean, there's another one right here. You can just see the edge of it.
Yeah, I think it stepped in the snow while it was still snowing, and a little bit of snow covered up its track.
That almost has definition to it. I mean, you can see different sections. And there's where a heel dug in. Where toes dug in there. I mean, obviously something came up this way.
It's been back and forth several times through here, not just once.
Mm-hmm. There's multiple different trails
because
with
it's
massive
going,
animal.
We're seeing evidence of it going both directions. So it's coming in and out. Might be some of the vocalizations we heard. You stepped right next to this one.
That looks like a handprint.
It's definitely much bigger than your...
You know what I'm saying? That looks like a handprint.
I know. It could... Will you measure that? I'll measure the thumb to the crossways first.
11 and a half inches.
Huge.
From the fingers, and I mean, there's definite indents for like fingers. From there to the back is about 13 and a half, 14 inches.
That's a gigantic hand. If that's indeed where Bigfoot put his hand down for whatever reason. To get up, sit down, or they're known to walking on all fours with that mid-tarsal deal going on in their long arms. They're comfortable as a stealth to go down on all fours to sneak up on stuff. I mean, you're talking something that's 8 feet tall, can go down on all fours, and now it's low profile. It's
And
only
some of
4
those
feet.
areas that we were looking at looked like something had crawled through some of these.
And
like
they will.
These overhangs and stuff like that. It looked like something had crawled through.
I got a game cam photo. It doesn't belong to me, but I made a blog post about it, highlighting it and stuff. Got a Bigfoot that was nearly down on all fours crossing in front of the camera.
I don't know why. I still have a weird vibe going on even
Yeah.
now.
Something's watching us.